What is Agni? Agni is our digestive fire. It is that fire within us that helps us to digest everything what we take in through our five senses. We think that digestion is only happening in our stomach, but as well we need to digest and transform everything that we take in through our five senses. So everything what we take in through our eyes, our ears, our nose, everything what we touch, so everything we expose ourselves to, the body has to digest it. And Agni is that what is responsible for that. So we want to make sure that the Agni is strong, it's working well, and it's really supporting us. So what is Agni? So Agni is the fire. So you can use it as like a campfire, as an example, as a campfire. So when we make a campfire, it's strong, it's has big flames. That means that the fire is working properly and we are happy. When there is a lot of wind or there is a lot of disturbance in the environment, then the can be a very kind of erratic, the fire. And when there is a fire very small, then there is not enough fire, and when we put more, like when we put a big log on it, it's not going to work anymore. So we can also correlate these to our doshas, our body mind types. So when the fire is strong, so that's a Pitta Agni. When we have a Pitta constitution, the fire is super strong. We can metabolize, transform everything what we take in very easily. When there is this kind of erratic wind blowing, that's a Vata digestion, which is irregular, can be kind of go towards gas and bloating. And it's just kind of not really stable, it's very irregular, erratic. And then there is the kapha digestion, which is sluggish. When we don't really have a good appetite, we feel heavy and sluggish after the meal. So that means that we need to kind of eat a little bit smaller meals. We are not gonna put like a really big heavy meal into our stomach constantly to kind of smother off that fire, that Agni. So how can we kindle the Agni? So the same way as we kindle the fire, we need to give it space. So we don't want to keep putting logs on it all the time. We don't want to put sand on it or anything. So we want to give it space. And that means that we don't want to be eating and snacking all the time. So it's so important to leave a long enough gap between our meals, and the long enough gap is at least 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, what is needed for the previous meal to actually properly digest. So I highly recommend you to have 3 proper meals a day and no snacking in between. Sometimes it can, when we start off like that, it can feel or seem impossible, but trust me, once you get used to it, then you really train your body, and especially you train your mind, because our snacking very often actually comes from our mind. It's not that the body is that hungry, but we are used to it. It's our habit with that we need to kind of snack all the time, or if there is even slightest kind of feeling that I need a little bit, we start to eat straight away. It's healthy to have a good hunger, like at least an hour before our meal. It's good to feel the hunger. That means that the Agni is strong. It's a good sign that the Agni is working. So Agni, yes, your fire that has to transform and metabolize everything that you take in. So you want to take good care of it, and you, as I mentioned, that you take good care of it by not eating too often, and definitely as well not overeating. You don't want to have too much of a big meal, because that will also smother the Agni and it will weaken the Agni. You can kindle the Agni a little bit with a little like a ginger pickle before your meal. So you take a thin slice of fresh ginger, you put a couple of drops lime and just a tiny little pinch of salt, and you eat it about 15 minutes before your meal, and that will really increase your Agni and help you to digest your food easier. All right, so I hope that was helpful. I have more videos about doshas, so I mentioned here about the doshas. So if you're not familiar with these, check out the links below. And as always, subscribe so you are up to date when I'm dropping a new video. Namaste.